So this is a book by this guy, Ibn Abdul Salam. He's pretty late Ashari. So let's see what he says about istiwa. Istiwa, right? Even though it says establish, it's istiwa. He established himself over the throne in the way that he says and the meaning he intends, and established in a manner transcending contact, settledness, fixity, indwelling, or movement, right? And that's important because notice how it's not trying to interpret it in any way. It's just saying in the in the meaning he intends. And that's like the safest way to take it, because you're not going to accidentally have it wrong. You don't want to make a mistake. So you're saying, look, whatever Allah meant by it, right? So it's like a humble approach to say, look, we're just going to leave the understanding of it to Allah. And it says here, and we're going to look at that. It's in the other book, right? Published separately. Note that the Salafis deny most of the above. The Salafis and Ibn Taymiyyah assert that settledness takes place over the throne. Ibn Taymiyyah strenuously asserts that Allah descends and can be above and below without how. That the school of the Salaf is the affirmation of everything the Quran started concerning aboveness, fawqiyah and tahtiyah, an establishment over the throne. Ibn Rushd says that Malik's position is that the throne is not Allah's location of settledness, even though I don't know if he actually said that, but that's what Ibn Rushd said. We assert that Allah established himself over the throne without his need, nor settlement upon it. For he it is who preserves the throne, and other than it, without needing any of them. Right? So, since Allah is like Allah basically has influence over all things, right? So the idea that he should be depending on a throne, that's, that they say that's problematic, right? Allah established himself over the throne in the sense that he said, and the meaning that he wills, with an establishment that transcends trust. And apparently this is from Uthman al-Bati. Okay. Sorry. And a meaning that he wills, with an establishment that transcends touch, settlement, location, imminence, and displacement. The throne does not carry him. Rather, the throne and its carriers are carried by the subtleness of his power, subdued under his grip. Right? Al-Ashari, Al-Ibana, and right, whatever. Now we can look at the other book. This is the other book. I told you guys about it. It's pretty good. Istiwa is a divine act. Abul Hasan al-Ashari said, establishment on the throne is an action that he has created, named istiwa, and related to the throne, just as he has created an action named ityan, related to a certain people, and this implies neither descent nor movement. Al-Bayhaqi confirmed this. Abul Hasan al-Ashari said that Allah Almighty effected an act in relation to the throne, and he called that act istiwa, just as his affected other acts in favor to the other objects, and he called those acts sustenance, rizq, favor. This is also the interpretation of Ibn Hazm, right, who explains istiwa as an act pertaining to the throne. So in other words, there is an act called istiwa, and we don't describe it, right, because notice he negates descent or movement, so it's not interpreting it. It's just saying this is what it says in the Quran, we believe in it, and we don't touch it, we don't really talk, we just leave it there, and that's it, right? The Salaf said, pass it by as it came, right? So they're passing it by, they're not delving into it. And At-Tabari said in his tafsir, the meaning of istiwa in this verse is height and elevation, right? So Salafis usually just quote that part, and then just stop there. But then, if you go beyond, but if one claims that this means displacement, right, or movement, tell him he is high and elevated over the heaven with the height of sovereignty and power, not the height of displacement of movement. Right? And so, in other words, you know how it says Allahu Akbar. Does that mean that God is that an indication of God's size, or is it to say His greatness? Right. So, in other words, when it says Ulu, or istiwa, it doesn't have to mean a location. It could mean like God's, God is most high. Do you mean most high in his location or his greatness, right? That's what so according to him, sovereignty, right, that's like greatness and power, rather than saying oh, it means location, right? But the Salafi say it means location. All right, and that's it. There's a lot, but I'm not gonna go over all of it.